Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Anthony with AJ Audio and Production, and welcome to my home studio and my YouTube channel. Now, we're going to go straight into it today, but before we do that, I just want to remind everybody to click that subscribe button below, click that notification bell icon so that you can be notified whenever I release new content on this channel every week, every Monday, right here for you guys. So today what we're working on is a mix. I did a cover of Frank Ocean's Self-Control. I'll show you guys exactly how I did it, and hope this video is good for you guys. Again, just leave a comment, click like, let me know that you appreciate or that you're enjoying the content that I'm putting out on this channel. Let's go ahead and get into it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Let's go ahead and get into the mix right quick. So again, this is me singing Self-Control by Frank Ocean. It's a cover song. Recorded it over a day or two. Spent an hour or two mixing it just to get it ready for this week's video. A couple things I like about this song that we're going to be going over in this mix. Thing one, I'll show you guys how I fattened up this guitar track that I downloaded just straight from YouTube. It was a little thin on the bottom, so add a little richness to it. And then we're going to go over the lead vocal. The lead vocal has, on the original track, has like some reverb automation at the end of each phrase to kind of fatten it up and create depth and space in there. I thought that was pretty cool, so I'd like to show that to you guys. Another cool thing is on the original song, there's this, there's like a, sorry, my daughter's outside vacuuming. There's like a chipmunk vocal effect or something like that that's happening on the hooks of the song. So right here and right here, I redid those. I'll show you how we're able to do that. And then also I'll show you guys the vocal guitar trick that happens on the bridge, which is where you basically sing and then you process your vocal so that it sounds like it's a guitar playing or it's coming out of a guitar amp. And then lastly, we'll go over creating space and depth with the background vocals. As you'll hear back here, these vocals are, they're a little complex, they're layered a lot, and they have this width about them that's really nice in the song. So hopefully I did this tune some justice for the fans of Self-Control. We'll see, though. Let me go ahead and play it right quick, and then we'll talk about the different elements of the song. So let's check it out.
I'll be the boyfriend in your sweet dreams tonight. Noses on the red, little virgin west of white. You cut your hair, but you used to live a blinded life. Wish I was there, wish we'd grown up on the same advice, and our time was right.
Keep a place for me, I sleep between y'all, it's no thing. It's no thing, it's no thing. Keep a place for me.
Now and then you miss it, sounds make you cry. Some nights you dance with tears in your eye. But I came to visit, 'cause you see me like a UFO. That's like never, 'cause I made you use your self-control, and you made me lose my self-control, my self-control. Keep a place for me, for me. summertime. Give up just a night. I know you got someone coming, spinning game. I know you got it. I know you gotta leave. Take down some summertime. Give up just a night. I know you got someone coming, spinning game. I know you got it.
Yeah.
I know you gotta leave. Take down some summertime. Give up just a night. I know you got someone coming, spinning game. I know you got it. I know you gotta leave. Take down some summertime. Give up just a night. I know you got someone coming, spinning game. I know you got it.
All right, and that's the whole of the song right there. Let me just fix this one little thing I heard in there. Hold on. This little part right here was a little too loud, which is supposed to stick out, but I didn't want it to stick out that much. So let me just drop that down a little bit. So let's talk about it. So first off, like I said, hope I did this song some form of justice. Such a great song from Frank Ocean. Hope I did it a little justice. But let's get into it right quick. So first things first, found this track on YouTube, just somebody playing the acoustic version of this song, which the whole song is acoustic guitar anyway. But the original version of this, it didn't have very much bottom end in the guitar. So I'll play it for you right quick without my plugins on it, just so you can hear it. And from right there, you can hear that it's a little boxy. So I have this EQ right here. Let me turn that on. And this EQ is just boosting a little of the low end because it was kind of thin for me, and then removing a little of that boxiness in the middle. So let's hear it again. All right, so that helped out with a little of that boxiness, but still didn't give me enough of that low end rumble that I wanted. This electric guitar, just clean guitar, it's not going to give me much down here in this range anyway. For those looking at that 50 hertz, I'm just trying to pull some of those sub frequencies up on this guitar so I can hear it better. And in all actuality, I can really turn that off. Because after I did that, I added another plugin that actually fixes that issue that I want to address right now. So let's just turn that off, and then we'll just keep this little scoop in the middle. All right. So now to just even things out, I have a compressor on there. This is the Renaissance compressor by Waves. Love this compressor. Attacks a little slow, releases a little slow. I don't want to hit this compressor too hard. I'm not trying to squash it, just trying to even it out with the louder and softer parts as I begin to sing over it. So let's hear that with the compressor in. And you can see right there with that compressor, all I'm doing is just kind of taming those louder transients. So let's play it without it. I'm sure you can hear the difference there. And then lastly, this bad boy right here. This is called R-Bass or Renaissance Bass. It's another Waves plugin. And what this plugin is going to let me do is add in some low-end harmonics to this guitar track, which is going to create that bottom end or that bass for me with adding in harmonic sub frequencies. to the tune of 78 hertz right here, you'll definitely hear the difference in this. So let me play it bypass one more time. And then let me turn it on. Bypass. On. So again, real cool plug-in just to add in some low-end rumble where there was none before. So moving on, lead vocal. I won't spend too much time on the lead vocal and what I did treating that vocal. The vocal is here and it goes down to my lead aux right here. If you want to see exactly what this vocal chain does and what it looks like, you can check out my previous video that I uploaded last week about how to get your lead vocals to fit in the mix. And I share in detail all of the vocal processing I do with this lead vocal track. Only thing different I did on this one was I added a C4 to the chain just to compress a little of this mid-range. I was singing real mid-rangey on this song, and when I compared it to the original version, I just need to scoop a little of it out. So I'll play that without it. So let me play that right quick.
I'll be the boyfriend in your sweet dreams tonight.
Right? And then if I turn that on, it's just going to pull a little of that out. Let's play it now.
I'll be the boyfriend in your sweet dreams tonight. Knows it's on the red.
Cool. So that's what I'm using for that. Now also, as always, I do have tune on this channel on all my vocals just to keep me in tune. But I did recently purchase Waves Tune Real Time, which is actually a really cool plug-in. And what I find with this one versus this one, my Auto-Tune FX3, I love this plugin. Auto-Tune FX3, you can only adjust how fast or slow it goes. Usually I try to keep it right here in the middle, so it still sounds natural. With the Waves Tune Real Time, it actually sounds even more natural once you get it dialed in. It sounds even more natural on the vocal, but it is a little harder on your CPU, which I don't like that. But I'll play it with that Waves Tune just so you can hear the difference there. Hold on.
I'll be the boyfriend in your sweet dreams tonight. Knows it's on the red, little virgin west of white. You cut your hair, but
so sounds really natural on there. But like I said again, just for CPU purposes, I'll go back to my Auto-Tune on there. But definitely check that plugin out. It was only like $29 versus the Auto-Tune suite, which can run you, I think that's like $100 or $200 or something like that. So moving on along, the next cool thing about this session. So the reverb, as you can hear in this first verse, the reverb is set up to automation. At the end of every phrase on the song, there's this little tail that jumps in and out at the end of every phrase, which is really cool. So this is the automation that I set up on that to get that effect. Let me scoot this over a little bit. Get that effect on my vocal. As you can see, my automation is a little janky. Don't talk about me. It's not about how it looks. It's about how it sounds. So just keep that in your mind. Sorry, not the Auto-Tune, but the reverb that I'm using is the Lexicon 224. That's a Apollo or Universal Audio plugin. Now, the secret to reverbs and keeping them sounding natural and not washing out your lead vocal is setting your reverb somewhere between 80 and 90-ish on the pre-delay. That pre-delay what that's going to do is, say this is your phrase here. What your pre-delay does is says, okay, whenever we receive information from the track, we're going to pre-delay when the vocal or the reverb actually kicks in. So let's say I set my pre-delay to 90 milliseconds. So what'll happen is 90 milliseconds here, and then reverb washes over the rest of it. And that's how that pre-delay works. So what happens with a lot of people is they'll add a reverb onto an aux or a channel, whatever, and you'll just have that reverb wash through your whole phrase. And then that's why your tracks or your lead vocals sound like they're so far away or in a hall, or they just sound real amateur and just kind of washed out, you know. So what you need to do is play around with your pre-delay so that you can hear that original vocal cut through, and then you hear the wash of the verb. You don't want to hear that verb through the whole of the singing, unless it's something that you specifically want that to happen on. In example, the background vocals towards the end of the song. I did want that effect, so I used it and just washed over the whole thing. But this one, yeah, that's how I'm running that. So let's just listen to this again right here and just kind of follow along with the automation so you can hear what's happening with that reverb as I automate it in and out. Notice how on the lighter parts, you can barely hear the reverb, which is what pushes that lead vocal even more up front in the mix. And then when it washes out, it makes it more dramatic. This is actually a really cool trick that I think I'm going to use on other mixes that I do. So let's hear that.
I'll be the boyfriend in your sweet dreams tonight.
See how it gets thick at the end?
Noses on the red, little virgin west of white. You cut your hair, but you used to live a blinded life. Wish I was there, wish we'd grown up on the same advice, and our time was right.
So there you have it. And then these ad-libs that you hear coming in right there, the ad-libs are being processed on this channel, but they're actually being fed into the same exact reverb as well. So I have 3 ad-libs that I'm running left, center, right. So this is my center channel, left, and right. And all 3 of those are being processed on the same aux with the same vocal processing. Just no C4 on these. And then the delay and reverb are going to the same ones as my lead vocal. Speaking of delay, let's hop into that right quick. So this is my delay that I'm using for my lead vocal. And all I'm doing with this is just adding a little color and just kind of filling in that lead vocal and making it not sound boring. I don't want it up so that you can really hear it. It's more of a feeling. This delay is meant to be felt, not so much heard. Whereas if you're not paying attention to it, you don't even know it's there until you take a second to listen and go, oh, there is a delay on there. So here it is with that delay in.
You cut your hair, but you used to live a blinded life. Wish I was there, wish we'd grown up on the same advice, and our time was right.
And you can see I'm barely hitting my delay right here. I don't want a whole lot going into that delay. But what it does is it just makes it less boring. So if I just solo this channel right quick so you can hear this delay, this is without.
You cut your hair, but you used to live a blinded life. Wish.
And with it.
You cut your hair, but you used to live a blinded life. Wish I was there, wish we'd grown up on the same advice. And
so you hear how that delay just kind of adds a little flavor It makes the vocal interesting. It carries it to the next phrase. That's the only reason I'm using it in this scenario. Just to keep the song going and just keep carrying it to the next phrase. That's the whole purpose of that. So, next part is the little chipmunk voice. So the little chipmunk voice was kind of cool. I've never bought a plugin for this. This is just kind of the basic plugin that comes with Pro Tools. Every DAW has a plugin like this somewhere in there. This is pitch 2. And basically what I did was just recorded the vocal octave low, and then I pitched it up to the correct octave it was supposed to be. So let's just play that right quick.
Keep a place for me.
Right? So all I sung was keep a place for me, right? Now I could have easily just sung it in the correct octave. Keep a place for me. That's not out of my range. I can sing in that range. However, if I do that, then I lose the effect that's on the original record. So again, if I bypass this, you'll hear me singing at an octave low. Oh, sorry. I forgot I have automation on this. So let me just make that inactive. Now play it.
Keep a place for me.
Right? And then I make it active, and you have this.
Keep a place for me.
Easy peasy. Same thing happens a little further in the song right here, but now it's a mixture between the low note and the top note. On this one, I just recorded the low note, dropped it down to this track, made a duplicate on this track. So I'm mixing in my low note with the high note, and then you get this.
Keep a place for me.
And there's my automation happening right there.
I'll sleep between you, there's no pain. Keep a place for me. There's no pain.
Cool. So that's how you do that. That's a little chipmunk voice, in case you ever wondered how to make that happen and keep it in key with the song and not have something this just sped up and not in tune and off tempo. So next part is the guitar vocal, which is cool. So let's play that right quick. Okay, so the way that that's done is you're just mimicking the actual sound of a guitar with your mouth. So as stupid as it sounds, I'm sitting in front of my microphone, I'm going, meow, meow, wow, wow, wow. That's really it. And with this, it's almost kind of like the more off pitch or out of tune that you sing it, the better it comes out. Because guitars naturally bend and scoop to the next note and things of that nature. So what you're doing is you're singing that, and then you throw auto-tune on that, and you're basically, let me actually go through the steps of this for you. So this is without it. This is going to sound bad. I haven't even listened to this. I know it's going to be flat, it's going to be sharp, it's going to be out of tune. That's on purpose. I did that on purpose. So listen to this right quick. That's embarrassing. I do this for the views. I kid. Okay, so you got your embarrassing meow and guitar cry track right there, right? Now what you want to do is you want to slap auto-tune on that. And then if I play it with auto-tune, and this is a more aggressive auto-tune, I'm going up into the fast tempo or the fast note correction. This is what it sounds like. So what you're hearing there is those sharp notes where it's correcting the tune, which is why you want to kind of sing it out of key, where it's correcting the tune is making that sound of a guitar pick on a guitar. So you're getting extra notes in there. So listen to just this first little phrase. So that those are like guitar picks, imaginary, right? So then the next thing I did was I added guitar stomp. This is guitar stomp 6. It's 6 little plug-in patches. These are the settings that I have that set to. And let's just play that and you can hear what's happening. I got a gate, I got a distortion, wah-wah pedal, little EQ, phaser, and a delay on there. So let's hear that right quick. No, that's just the first phrase. Let's hear the whole thing. There you go. And of course, you can make that more aggressive if you want it. The original in the song doesn't have like that real bite, that drive from the distortion in there, so I didn't add it. Up next, what I did was there was still that human part of it peeking its head through. So I rolled off a lot of the high end, just put a low pass on there. And I pulled out a lot of the the frequency where the human vocal characteristics live in that 1K area, and then just rolled off all that top end there. And let's hear what that sounds like. There you go. And then lastly, I just threw a compressor on there just to kind of tighten it up. All right, and then you see how much it was tightened up right there and got a little extra volume out of it. Another thing you can do on that as well, if you go into, let's see, harmonics, Sans Amp. Sans Amp is like a distortion plug-in that you can add onto it as well. Let's just hear that with Sans Amp. If you want that extra punch, buzz, drive, compression, crunch, whatever, let's just hear that right quick. Now, the only thing I would do there is I'd probably put a high pass on here, roll off some of that low end. Now, if I play that with the track, really blending in with the background. The guitar in the background. So that's how you do that little trick on there. So now that that's done, let's talk about these background vocals. That's the last little piece, or the last little piece to the puzzle here. So these are my background vocals, the ahs that come in on this Chipmunk part. And you don't see any plugins on here. That's because what happened was when I was using this plugin here, the Waves Tune Live, the one I was telling you was really hard on my CPU, I started having issues with buffer error and stuff like that. So I ended up just freezing all of my tracks. And then after I froze all my tracks, I was still having issues. So I just committed the frozen tracks to the actual waveform. I knew I didn't want to change them. Only thing that was on them was the same thing from my last session. that I showed you guys. Check out my session on how to get tight, punchy pop vocals. And that's basically what was going on these tracks. So there was auto-tune, and then that was pretty much it. I had auto-tune on these background vocals. So it's just one plugin on each one of these feeding into the background vocal aux. But these background vocals on the original track, they have a little more space to them. So let's just hear these right quick. Give it a little more room for context.
My self-control, my self-control. Keep a place for me, for me. I'll sleep between y'all, it's no pain. Keep a place for me. It's no pain, it's no pain.
Okay, so basically with these vocals, the ahs are going into the ah track, and then my regular background vocals are going into my regular background vocal track. So the key thing that I'm doing here, if I can solo these right quick, let's see. So let's play these back. We're looking for clarity, some width, and some depth in here, as well as we're trying to push them back in the background, but make them sound really, really wide is what we're doing. So we have some background vocal verb. And as you see here, my pre-delay on these are set to 25. Uh-oh, messed that up. 25 milliseconds. My decay is really short. My width is really wide. And then I have a little chorus added in there that's going to add additional notes to my reverb just to make it sound even more thick and full. So let me just play that, this little ooh part right here. And that's it. My background vocals and my ah vocals are being treated the same. On those, my virtual mix rack looks like this. I'm not even using the revival on this one because I wanted the vocals to be a little darker. So you see it here, but she's not active. A little EQ. All of my EQ is just pulling down some of the top end. Nothing really happening on this one except around that 1.6 range. I dipped that down a little bit. I dipped it down a little bit up here on the top end. Of course, all the magic in the width is happening with Vitamin. And let's just go to the regular background vocals.
I know you gotta leave. Take down some summertime. Give up just a night.
So you can see right here, I'm squashing those vocals. I want them really tight and together. So I'm hitting them hard with my compression on this one. Let me play that again.
I know you gotta leave. Take down some summertime. Give up just a night.
So what you're also hearing on that is, unmute that. Let me actually just start right here. So let's start with the width, since we're already talking about Vitamin. That Vitamin is just going to make it wider in these ranges here, right? So I got my mids, my high mids, and my highs. I'm just spreading them out on my in my stereo field. If I mute this right quick and play it.
I know you gotta leave. Take down some summertime. Give up just a night.
Now if I bring that back in, watch how wide it becomes.
I know you gotta leave. Take down some summertime. Give up just a night.
That easy. So VMR, some RVox, vitamin spreading it out. And then the other thing that I have spreading it out, of course, the C4 again is coming in here and just doing some dips and cuts for me on that background vocal. Check it out.
I know you gotta leave.
And what I'm doing here is because I have so many channels feeding into this background vocal aux, I'm just maintaining or just keeping a thumb on top of those frequencies. If I turn that off, you'll hear the difference.
I know you gotta leave.
On.
Leave. Take down some summertime. Give up just a night.
So it's taking some of that boxiness out of that for me. And then lastly, I have the PS22. It's called the PS22 split, and I'm just getting even more width out of this plugin. It's just making it even wider. I want this to sound as wide as I can possibly get it without spending too much time mixing it. So let's hear it without it.
I know you gotta leave. Take down some summertime. Give up just a night.
All right, and then if I turn that back on.
I know you gotta leave. Take down some summertime. Give up just a night.
All right. And then lastly, I wanted to add a delay to these background vocals just to create even more depth. There's that dead space in between these phrases, but rather than have that delay go straight into my master bus, I'm sending that delay right here. Here's my delay. I'm sending that delay back into my reverb. I'm putting it out and sending it in my reverb. That way my delay has a reverb on it on these vocals on the back end. So then that's why you hear the delay coming in, and the delay has even more space and reverb attached to it. Now, of course, by itself, it sounds a little sloppy. But once you add it into the mix, it makes more sense. I'll play it where the harmonies come in.
I know you gotta leave. Take down some summertime. Give up just a night. I know you got someone coming. Spitting game. I know you got it.
Right? And let's play that with the track, and you'll hear where it fits.
I know you gotta leave. Take down some summertime. Give up just a night. I know you got someone coming. Spinning game. I know you got it.
All the vocals.
I know you gotta leave. Take down some summertime. Give up just a night. I know you got someone coming. Spinning game. I know you got it.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it. I hope that explains the direction, the thought process, the mix process. So hopefully that just kind of gives a decent enough rough overview of the different techniques that I chose to use to mix this song. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, please make sure that you click that subscribe button below, click that notification bell icon so that you can be notified whenever I upload a new video on this channel every week, every Monday, just for you guys. Till next week, peace.
Just a night. I know you got someone coming. Spinning game. I know you got it.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it.